Yes, Uranus in transit is making his way to the fixed star Algol. And this one's pretty deep, so let's talk about it. Algol is a fixed star in the constellation of Perseus. It is fixed at the 26th degree in tropical astrology in Taurus. Algol is linked to Medusa, the Gorgon from the Greek myth. Perseus severed her head. She was a beautiful priestess who was violated in Athena's temple, and then she was cursed and turned into a monster. Everyone calls this the demon star, the monster star, okay? But there's a lot more to her than that. She is feminine rage. She also represents a fear of feminine power. You will hear that it is evil, that it is malefic, that any transit with it automatically means death. I am saying that is not true. It is very raw. It is very untamed power. It is transformative, but that's the point. School, definitely in the traditional sense, was very much feared, known as one of the, if not the most malefic star, associated with violence, chaos, and losing one's head. Medieval astrologers started to connect it with danger, especially if it was conjunct personal planets. Okay, so let's look at the astronomy to figure out why we have the beliefs of Algol that we do. Algol is known as the blinking demon star. It is part of a triple star system, and it eclipses a binary. What does this mean? Algol is not a single star system. It has 3 stars, Algol A, B, and C. Now, the most important interaction happens between Algol A and B, the binary pair. Algol A, the bright blue-white guy, call him the main sequence star, okay? And Algol B, a little bit dimmer, much cooler star, orbit each other very, very closely. During each orbit, Algol B passes in front of Algol A. Well, that's how it looks to us on Earth. So that's why it blinks. That's why the brightness of her changes. It can drop. After the eclipse happens, it returns to full brightness. Well, so if you used to depend on the stars to get you home, that sounds a little tricky dicky, doesn't it? Sounds a little deceiving. Algol was one of the first variable stars ever documented. Strange behavior was documented from people's eye with telescopes, and that's why it got such a weird reputation. What does this astronomy mean symbolically? Periodic dimming, light disappearing, and returning. Oh, what does that sound like? Death, resurrection, transformation, shadow, reemergence, the sense of something temporarily being swallowed by darkness. It's not just a metaphor. That is what is literally happening with this star, okay? Some called it the heartbeat of the underworld. Scorpio's the underworld. This is Taurus. In the more modern times, we have a lot more nuance when we talk with Algol, but a lot of people still fearmonger. It can bring, obviously, downfall. It can also bring resilience. It can mean something born of pain, creativity, and fierce authenticity. It can help us kind of channel the taboo or the shadow, transmute it into power. Some themes I think of when I think of Algol: feminine rage, sacred rage, survival and rebirth, reclaiming what was demonized. Something monstrous can heal. Beauty turns into a weapon, but a weapon can be used as truth. Now, with these fixed stars, the orbs need to be a lot smaller. If you want to have a conjunction, it needs to be right on. So if Algol touches your chart, you carry deep transformational energy, but it's often connected to trauma or even the taboo. Your journey is going to involve confronting shadow, honey. You may be misunderstood often, but with awareness, this becomes a source of radical power. I would even say protection as well. Y'all know this POS, right? He is one of the guys linked to modern times to the Algol star. His sun was conjunct. I forgot the transits of that day. Talk about distorted feminine rage. Not only killed his wife, but he suffocated his 2 little girls with his own hand. I also know that his girlfriend was involved, and I don't know why anyway, yes, Trump's midheaven is very close to Algol. Uranus is on the way, okay? Take with that what you will. Uranus on Algol with Black Moon Lilith in Scorpio. Ladies, it is time for us to get so mad that things like with this dude never happen again. Honestly, what it signifies to me is he is going to start turning on the ladies more if he doesn't hear those knockings of Uranus. So who's going to answer the knockings of Uranus? We have. Sorry, that was a ramble. But thank you, Moonbeam.